Hey everybody, this is Flax Matta, and I'm going to go over Econ today. Um, and this is going to be mainly for newer players, but I mean, I went about a year and a half before I started to figure out more about Econ and how to sustain myself. So um, this should help you out. The first thing you want to do is decide what you're going to do with well, the first thing you're going to want to do is get premium. If you don't have premium, you really want to grind for that or swipe it. I tell people that you can swipe the first month and then you can pay for your stuff from then on out, and you won't have to uh, spend any more money if you're doing things right. But what uh, that will get you is it'll help you um, fame farm. It'll let you use an island. Um, it'll get you more learning points. And the big thing, one of the biggest things, is the 10K focus it gives you per day. Um, but I mean, just in general, it offers a lot of really good things. Reduced market tax, which is huge. But um, so once you get premium, and I'll go into some more ways to do that later. But you will start getting focus, and you'll get 10,000 focus per day, and it'll cap at 30K. So you want to use it every day or two, or you're kind of just burning your own money. Um, and what focus does is it will allow you to increase your resource return. So if you're refining, for example, uh, you may have like a 15% return rate, and with focus you have a 30% return rate. So it increases the amount of resources, which allows you to craft more, refine more, or farm more, depending on what you decide to do with your focus. And I'm going to go over refining mostly today, but I'll briefly go over crafting and farming as well. So I started out um, with when I started trying to make money, I started out with like 6 or 7 max islands and 2 or 3 max farmers, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. Um, the the problem I started running into is that it had a low ceiling and it took a lot of time. So eventually, I started to realize that I was spending a lot of time to make not a lot of silver compared to the other two ways to swing my focus. It was relaxing, and a lot of people enjoy it. Um, what I was doing back then was I had like I think 6 islands I was farming with 2 max farmers, and then I had a max um, potions crafter, and it was okay. And I was making about uh, 700 to a mil a day, 700K to a mil a day silver per farmer, and then turning that, say, 2 mil into like 3.5. So it wasn't bad, but what I started to realize is that refining, you spent a lot less time and you had to make it a lot more money, more silver. So within the first month, on one refiner, I was making 1 to 2 mil silver in like 10 to 15 minutes a day. So it was significantly less time and already more money. And now on this guy who's a max refiner for ore, um, which just means that you have every single spec to 100. Um, on this guy, I make between 3 to 6 mil a day net after I factor in my resources and stuff. And I just throw it all in a chest. And right now my chest is kind of low, 92 mil. But and I'll go ahead and start gearing up to do it. But with refining, what you're doing in essence is taking these raw resources, which it can be anything, and turning them into bars or crafted resources. So if I had it to do over, I would probably do leather because it's really good for crafting too. That's not Leather City. I think it's Marlock. Um, because it's really good for crafting too. Yeah, it's Marlock. So um, the when you pick out what you want to do, and you can do anything except for stone. Stone's not great, but the other four you're going to make good profit with. Um, is you pick out what you're going to do. Say it is leather, and you go into you want to find the refining city. And so every city, if you open up the city tab and you click on the city, click on the tab, it'll show you what resources you get. Um, and every city has a refining bonus. So Martlock has hide bonus, right? 40, so you get 40% extra when refining hide. And and then with focus on top of that, it makes it a really good return rate. Um, so what I will do, and I'll go back to ore, what you do in Thetford, and the refining bonus is ore, and it's an ore bonus day, which is nice. Um, what I'll do, which I probably need to get out there because everybody's using the stuff up today. Um, what I'll do is you can gather a little bit and add to your spec while you're specking, but you're not going to be able to keep up with how much you're refining if you're using your focus every day because it takes me 10 to 12 million per character in resources to refine every day. And so I'll do buy orders. And what I'll do is I'll go one city away in either direction because obviously the um, place you're refining is going to use those resources. So everybody's going to be using those resources and it's going to really jack up the price. So you can go one city away, either direction, and get a lot cheaper unrefined resource. And then take it to where you're going to refine it, and then run it back to whatever city is you're you're selling at. So you can put a buy order in Martlock for ore, run to Thetford, refine it, run what you just refined back to Martlock and sell it, and then put your buy orders in for the next day. So once you've done it 2 or 3 times, it's very simple. It takes me about 30 minutes a day for 2 characters, and I typically make anywhere from uh, 8 to 12 mil a day between both of them net. So the first 2 weeks, you're going to be making about 500K a day, and after the first month, you'll be making a mil to 2 mil, and then within 3 months, you'll be making 3 to 5, and then shortly after that, you'll max out, uh, and then it's pretty easy to make 4 to 6 mil a day. So um, I probably should go ahead and gear up and just kind of give you guys an example. Um, so I'll just take whatever resource I've bought the day before and throw it in my inventory. And then I will, if you need to do this, it helps me to have a visual. And I'll just sort it. And then I'll match up. So for tier 4 stuff, tier 3 you need so that's a good thing to go into. So for refining, you need one tier up of the raw resource. So if I'm going to refine, say it's 5.3, or I need a 4.3 bar to refine it. So I'll drag the 4.3 over and put that next to the bar so I can refine with. And it's initially 1 for 2, and then I think at tier like 6 it goes up to 1 to 3, and then by tier 8 you're like uh, 1 to 5 ratio. Which again I'll show you that more when I get to the station. Um, so for 7.3, you'll want 6.3. And grab 6.4. And then, so for tier 4s, you don't need to match it up. You just need tier 3 bars. And that's the only tier that does that. Um, well, everything above that does, you have to match it up. So then for 5, you would do, so that'd be 4, 4. Uh, and so then once you're all matched up, which it's not that complicated at first, especially, you're doing the same thing every day for a while. Um, and that is actually a really good point. So just like your weapons, you want to um, max a tier at a time. So you want to go all the way 100 to 100 um, in ore refining, and then go to the tier 5 and then to tier 6 once you're 100, because they stack on each other. So fours help 5 make more money. 4 and 5 help 6 make more money. You're not going to make as much money at tier 8 anyways, or skip ahead. Um, and so that's kind of the strategy. Just go tier by tier, refine whatever you want in 4. I like to do 4-1 until I'm like 50 spec, and then go to 4-3 until I'm like 80 spec, and then 4-4. But you can do it however you want. Um, and that way I just am, for the higher tier resources, I'm spending less money. Um, let's see if there's any crafting stations. So decent price. See, none of these were ever decent price anyway, so it doesn't matter. But um, and then so